Sheena, can you begin by explaining to us a little bit more about the domestic and international postal services that are going to be coming back online?
Okay, sure. Domestic is exactly as it sounds. It's between the three islands. And in that regard, we are dependent very heavily on Cayman Airways and their ability to carry the mail when we've got a mail dispatch ready. So normal mail delivery standards do not apply. Nothing normal applies at this time under the coronavirus pandemic. In terms of international, that's a little more tricky because, as you can imagine, it involves international travel. Technically, our airport is still closed. Our borders for the country is still closed, even though between the government and Cayman Airways, they've started to open up things a little bit more and have some flight services to and from different countries. Now, what most people mightn't realize is that the country sending the mail has the responsibility and the choice of how to get it to us. So even as Cayman Airways is flying, if countries who want to now start to move the mail haven't engaged with Cayman Airways to do so, we need to get that sort of stuff lined up first before we can start receiving international mail. My staff are working on this, and we are hopeful that we will be able to resume an international mail service next week. But when we're ready, public can rest assured that we will make that announcement. It is one of those things that's in the works at this time.
What about those persons who may have received international mail before the shutdown?
So received for us means it's here on Cayman and we can handle it. So we're dealing with all of that. Mail can be in various categories. You've got letter mail, you've got parcels. So when we reopened yesterday, what we've actually found at the airport post office is that a lot of the customers are there to collect parcels that arrived in Cayman, but they didn't actually get to come and go into the post office and collect it before we closed on the 25th of March. So we're dealing with all of those things now. Still can't send out anything. So at this point, we prefer not to receive it because we don't want to hold it. We're asking our customers for international mail, please hold on to it yourselves until that service has been reestablished.
What about security risks and measures at this point?
In terms of the coronavirus itself, even before we closed, the Postal Service was monitoring the World Health Organization, which is like one of the organizations that everybody is turning to for official information, and their assessment of handling mail and packages and stuff like that. And their assessment was low to none, and that really hasn't changed. To be fair and open and transparent, we did find one study that showed that the coronavirus could survive on cardboard for up to about 24 hours. We've in turn applied that, because that's a worst case scenario for us, to paper and handling paper products. 24 hours, when you think about it, isn't a very long time. So anything that came into Cayman before we closed on the 25th of March, we've had many 24 hours pass by since then. And even now, as we have reopened, when you think of transit times, even again, when we're able to reestablish an international mail service, the transit times are going to be longer than 24 hours. The hours that the post office is open right now, when you also factor in our surname segregation for going and clearing the mail from your post box, all of those times are going to exceed 24 hours. Nonetheless, the postal staff are taking every precaution. We wear gloves, we use the hand sanitizers, we wear masks, and staff in operations even wear an apron as they're carrying out their duties. We sanitize all of the containers that we use to carry mail, and after they've been used, we sanitize them again. We have moved on to trying to sanitize post office boxes as best we can. So we're taking every reasonable precaution that we can. Get away from all the technicalities. As Postmaster General, what I would advise customers, treat the mail how you treat your groceries when you go to the grocery store to collect them. Because think about it, you're going into the grocery store, collecting groceries, you're taking those items into your home, ultimately you're going to consume them. So whatever personal precautions you've established for going to the grocery store, getting food from restaurants, that sort of stuff, apply that to the mail and you should be safe.
Okay. Any final words to persons who may be hearing your message today as it relates to the movement of mail, the reopening of the services, although, you know, as restricted as it may be? What words of encouragement would you give to people to, you know, display patience, that sort of stuff?
Well, if I could start with a word of thanks and appreciation, that's how I would like to start. The fact that the Postal Service has reopened now is totally as a result of customers' request to government authorities that they needed whatever level of service the Postal Service offers them and they had not been able to access. So it's been a bit heartwarming to show that and see from our customers that we're an integral part of the community. We always knew that ourselves, but during coronavirus pandemic, our customers are proving that to us. So I would like to also thank our customers for sticking with us. We reopened yesterday and we thought we were going to get slammed and we didn't. We had just enough customers to balance customer service with waiting times and working out the inevitable kinks that come with reopening when you've been closed and reopening in a new environment. I would simply encourage customers to also have patience because nothing is normal anymore. So normal delivery standards that applied before we closed at the end of March no longer apply. Even here in Grand Cayman where we can move around because we've got limited hours to operate. When we're able to reestablish an international service, delays are also going to apply. There are many, many countries whose borders are still closed. So transportation is one issue, and then the actual operational status of the National Postal Service in each country is another issue. So all of those things need to be factored in, and I would just encourage our customers not to give up on us. Continue to use us, please, but have a little patience in that regard.